So, in this week's parasha, I found that Joseph really understood his position and purpose in life. He ends up being the viceroy, not the pharaoh. Now, you realize I find that incredible because we see it happen a few times with the other parashiots. Look at Yaakov and Esav. Esav missed his purpose in life. He was supposed to support Yaakov, and he missed his calling. He really missed his calling. Not everyone can be a CEO. Not everyone can be the president. Some people are supposed to be the leaders, and then others are supposed to support. And we each have to know our position in life. And by the way, it's not in every aspect of our life, meaning you could be the president of a certain company, but you could be a support or a vice president of another company.
That's right.
And I love the example that I came up with. Especially to our age group with Star Trek, the original Star Trek. Like, do you remember watching it?
Of course.
Yeah. Well, who was the captain? Captain
Kirk.
Good. All right. And who was the guy with the pointy ears?
Spock.
Right. Now,
Leonard Nimoy.
Right. There we go. Good. Oh, good. Now, tell me something. Who was stronger between the two of those guys?
Physically?
Physically stronger. Who was stronger? Come on.
I'm not
One's
sure.
a Vulcan, the other one's a human.
Well,
okay,
I guess-
Vulcan, human. Who was stronger?
I guess Spock was.
Yeah, Spock was stronger.
But
Okay?
they always had
Fights, yeah.
Captain Kirk, fighting with everybody else.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
he
okay.
tried to be strong.
Yeah. And who was smarter?
Spock.
Who was emotional and always crying?
Yes, Captain Kirk.
But when you saw the TV show, you knew exactly who was the leader. Who was the leader?
Yes, Captain.
The
Captain
Captain Kirk.
Kirk.
He was the leader. And Spock, was he ever upset that he was not the captain?
Never.
Maybe one episode, I think they switched it or whatever. But
Yes,
but really, Spock always understood that he was supposed to be the second in command.
That's right. He enabled the best in the captain.
So, lehavdil, not to compare, but in that TV show, we know that Spock really knew his purpose. So I'm going to tell you something. The Gilgul of Esav and Yaakov is Antoninos, or
And-
Marcus Aurelius,
and
the
Rabbi.
Roman emperor, and Rabbi Yehuda Nasi.
That's right.
And look at, even though one was an emperor, how he would study with Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, how he admired Rabbi Yehuda Nasi.
The respect.
Often he would go to Rabbi Yehuda Nasi and say, will I have a share in the world to come? And Rabbi Yehuda Nasi said, yes, you will. Yes, you will. And the emperor would bow to Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. And Rabbi Yehuda Nasi would be embarrassed. Like, what do you mean? What are you putting yourself in that position? You are the king of the world. He says, I may be the king of the world here, but you are the king of Olam Haba. I know I want a seat right next to you. He knew his purpose in life. And I'm going to give you a chidush that I found incredible. We know that we have the written Torah. Now, with the written Torah comes along
Torah Be'al Peh, the Oral Torah.
the Oral Torah. And we know that the Oral Torah was not written, thus Oral Torah, but yet Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, he wrote it many hundreds of years after Mount Sinai. And he had to write it because somehow it was going to be lost in translation. Do you know who assisted him to have that written? It was Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, Antoninos. He was the one, because during that time the Romans had forbidden the Jews to gather, the Sanhedrin to exist, yet he knew that if Rabbi Yehuda Nasi would be able to get together with those from Tzfat and those from Babylon, and get the other rabbis and get together and take 2, 3, 4 years to hammer it out and to seal it forever, that's how we ended up getting the Mishnah. And that is all because of the emperor, because of Antoninus, Marcus Aurelius. He knew his purpose in life. He did tikkun to
For Esav's missing the opportunity to be the enabler for Yaakov back then.
That's right. And so I think the lesson over all of these parashiyot is that we have to know our position in life. And it's not just your position just at the office. It's not your position just at home. It's being able to understand what your position is.
And how you can best serve at that moment.
Exactly.
For the ultimate good.
You don't always have to be the leader in everything.
No. You could be a passive leader.
That's right.
By enabling the one who has the skills to do what they have to do.
Amazing.
For the greater good.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.